The top stories for the hour. President Taye Asqe-Selassie urges graduates to define success through service to Ethiopia's progress. And Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launches 2025 Green Legacy planting season, calls for nationwide action. Hello, you're watching ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism with the news. I'm Tegistar Nisa. Do stay with us. President Taye Asqe-Selassie urged the Addis Ababa University graduates of 2025 to measure their success through what they contribute to Ethiopia and its people. Marking its Diamond Jubilee, Addis Ababa University proudly celebrated the graduation of 6,849 students today. The graduating class included 3,334 undergraduates, 2,859 master's degree recipients, 304 PhD graduates, and 352 individuals who earned specialty and subspecialty qualifications. During the graduation ceremony, President Taye stated that Addis Ababa University has been at the forefront of brain of Ethiopia's academic excellence in conducting research and teaching for the last 75 years. The President emphasized that graduates must carefully assess the evolving global landscape across all sectors and take active responsibility in safeguarding Ethiopia's national interest. Interim President of the University, Samuel Kifle, on his part, stated that Ethiopia has placed its hope upon the graduates to achieve multifaceted success. Samuel added that graduates are entrusted with the responsibility of bringing Ethiopia's journey towards comprehensive prosperity to fruition. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has officially launched this year's Green Legacy planting season, reaffirming the nation's commitment to environmental restoration and climate resilience. The Prime Minister called on all sectors of the society and the diplomatic community to actively engage in the Green Legacy program to plant seedlings to bring the total to 47.5 billion trees this year. The Premier made this remark at the official launch of the 2025 tree planting season on Friday in the presence of senior federal and regional officials, ministers, representatives from various sectors, elders, students, members of the diplomatic community based in Addis Ababa, among others. This year's campaign is being carried out under the theme Renewal Through Planting with the national target of planting 7.5 billion saplings. The nationwide campaign, which began in 2019, aspires to reach a cumulative total of 54 billion seedlings by next year. The Prime Minister mentioned Ethiopia's role to host the upcoming second UN Food Systems Summit stock-taking moment and the second Africa Climate Change Conference, both of which will be held in Addis Ababa later this year due to the growing international recognition of the Green Legacy Initiative. He extended congratulations to all Ethiopians who believe in the vision of the Green Legacy Initiative and to those who took part in the tree planting campaign at both home and abroad. Calling for its inclusive participation, Premier Abiy urged all sectors of society and the diplomatic community in Ethiopia to engage actively in the planting efforts. In a related development, Ethiopia's Agriculture Minister Girma Amanté has announced that more than 11 billion seedlings have been planted in tributary areas of the Nile Basin over the past 6 years as part of the country's ambitious Green Legacy program. Speaking at the launch of the 2025 planting season, Minister Girma emphasized the crucial role of the initiative in restoring landscapes, improving soil conservation, and advancing sustainable development across the nation. The minister noted that the Green Legacy Initiative is now active across all 12 Ethiopia's river basins with a special focus on the Nile Basin. He revealed that out of 40 billion seedlings planted nationwide, 11 billion were planted specifically in the Nile tributary areas, helping boost vegetation cover from 19% to 25% in the region. This environmental progress, Minister Girma said, not only supports local ecosystems but also contributes to the longevity and sustainability of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. He pointed out that the very communities involved in building the dam are also engaged in conservation efforts to help protect for future generations. Highlighting the scientific approach behind the initiative, the minister reported notable improvements in coffee yieldings and praised the success of restoring degraded land across the country. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to scaling up sustainable soil and water conservation in the area ahead. Nigerian Vice President Kashim Shettima has praised Ethiopia's Green Legacy initiative, calling it a practical response to climate challenges and an inspiring blueprint for a sustainable future. The Vice President made this remark at the launch of this year's Green Legacy Initiative program on Friday in Addis Ababa. He underscored that the promise of the Ethiopian Green Legacy Initiative is a dream of every nation. It's a lesson in vision, in purpose, and in audacity, the Vice President said. Vice President Shettima also advocated for broader adoption of Ethiopia's climate-friendly development approach through its Green Legacy Initiative program as a model of sustainable development. He added that Ethiopia deserves all the applause the world has sent it away and more. He praised Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed for spearheading the successful rollout of Ethiopia's Green Legacy Initiative through strong and effective leadership. Noting that Africa is not only a land of disasters, the Vice President finally stated that the continent is also a land of promise. Finally, on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the UN Charter, Ethiopia underscores that the principles of UN Charter are still as solid as they have been over the past 80 decades, and called on member states to uphold the Charter's promise. Take a look.
Humanity had gone through 2 catastrophic wars. They created a charter which reflected the aspirations of humanity for peace.
And I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Ethiopia.
Mr. President, as we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the signing of the UN Charter, the occasion affords us the opportunity to look back in time and reflect on the critical role of the Charter's creation in the United Nations. We, the community of nations, most notably attest to the instrumental role the UN has played through its peacekeeping missions in the maintenance of international peace and security. Ethiopia's contribution since the 1950s in the deployment of its troops under the Blue Helmet is testament to this noble cause and to the efforts of achieving collective security. Mr. President, the ongoing reform of the United Nations should aim for maximizing results to enable the organization to undertake the tasks that it is set out to achieve. This includes bringing the discussion on the UN Security Council reform to fruition. Historical injustice done to Africa must be rectified without further delay. Africa must be represented equally in the permanent category in the Security Council. Furthermore, we realize that none of us can address the complex global challenges we face today by ourselves. This is why we must hold on to and abide by the UN Charter, as its principles are still as valid and solid as they have been over the past 8 decades. We must therefore safeguard the Charter's promise of collective action, shared responsibility, and mutual respect. In conclusion, Mr. President, Ethiopia reiterates its unwavering commitment to uphold and respect the Charter of the United Nations and international law. I thank you, Mr. President.
A quick reminder of the top stories once again. President Haile Selassie urges graduates to define success through service to Ethiopia's progress. And Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launches 2025 Green Legacy planting season, calls for nationwide action. That's what we had for this news hour. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye.